All right, so these are my trades for the week. What the week start on? The first or something? I don't know. I don't even know what day it is for real. I think it's the fourth. What was Monday? Tuesday. All right, where we at? The fifth. The fifth. All right, so y'all can still see my screen, right? This is a good short. I had lost a buy first, and then I went short on that. Um, yeah, when you trying to go, this wasn't like this when I tried to buy, obviously, but when you trying to go long and you notice that it's not working out, and that daily or that 4 hour candle is bearish, don't even, especially when the price is slow. I've been saying this all week. When price is slow, do not try to get ahead of that candle flip. Like this little area right here where it flipped, that's the money flip. You know, when it go down, come boom, boom, boom. If price super slow, don't try to anticipate and get in front of it, especially on longs. On shorts, you can probably do it because when it drop, it drop. But with longs, if you're trying to go long in that candle, a doji, the 4 hour or the daily, it's a doji, and all the confluence is there, but it ain't going yet. Just wait for them to start going and then catch a second leg. It'll be way easier. Because I tried to buy and it just wasn't having it, especially on the days we have SMT on both sides. And while Dixie in his weird ass range, we more than likely going to have SMT on both sides because all the indices are going different ways. But this was still a banger nevertheless. So I was trying to buy here. I knew it would be hard because it is at the 50, like high, low 50%. I knew it would be hard, but it looked like the sales wasn't looking like they was playing out. It looked like it was going to go, and then we did not go. So I waited, and then I tried to see when that happened, because I know some of y'all have asked me, like, you see I tried to buy here, right? This was a nice buy too, I'm not going to lie, because we had SMT there. We had it here too, which was annoying, but we had it there. And when I see a wick rejection this size, I'm going to take that trade every time. Like this wick rejection this size, bro, is, yeah, I'm taking that every time. I did, and then we had SMT right here. So if I would have took the same trade on YM or ES, I probably would have won it, but I took it on Nasty Nas, and I got right there, a couple ticks away. Did not take profit, and then it pulled back. So once it did pull back, is it another stop point like this, or is it truly bearish? Okay, so let's look at PD arrays. Bullish order block right there, not holding, right? And shit, I mean, that guy ran out the first time, but I'm also looking left. I'm seeing these fair value gaps right here, like this one right here specifically. If I drag this over, see how that didn't hold right there? So I looked at this area, one PD array. I looked at that area, two PD arrays. The PD array, of course, I tried to enter off of. That's basically three. But we had this 15-minute fair value gap right here. So y'all can see that my entry was here. It was not up here. I didn't just hop in because I lost buys. I need people to pay attention to that. You don't just hop in because you lost buys. You still got to wait on execution of confluence. You know what I'm saying? I still waited because we had this 15-minute fair value gap right here, which was probably a breakaway. I mean, it is a breakaway. But, yeah, so I waited to see the 15-minute, at least the halfway point. Because the last thing I want to do is try to go short here. And now I'm trying to short the bottom, and it's reversing after running out all this sell side liquidity in this 15-minute fair value gap. So I had to wait on real confluence. Boom. I couldn't even go off of that candle because that candle wasn't enough for me because of the wick rejection and time, waiting on macros, all that. So once it started to close below that, and I'm looking at like this fair value gap right here, now it's like we done ran out all these bullish levels. I'm just going to try short and try to get down to this 4 hour. And this was, or this 15-minute under these lows. And this was so fucking nice. And you just got to think about it, like swing low to swing high. 50% mark is here. Where are the PD arrays? Where are the discount PD arrays? Okay, underneath this swing low is a fair value gap in discount. I sold from premium to discount. Amazing. And there's the entry right there. Again, let's talk about, because this is the same thing how I enter my trades when it comes to re-entering, right? Let's say I was trying to go long, I got shorted, this fair value gap didn't hold, price went long right there, right? I'm sure people try to go long off of this IFEG, not me, because this 15-minute fair value gap. So I want to see if this was truly bullish. If this is truly bullish and we displacing, this IFEG is going to hold. This little BPR is going to hold. If price pulled back and we still bullish, then this fair value gap is going to hold. This one got ran out here. This one got ran out here. You see price close below it, right? This becomes a bearish order block with the up close candles. The body, we close below it. And look how detailed I was on my entry, bro. That's why I be saying, bro, I be locked in, bro. It's the level. I ain't trying to glaze myself, but it's levels to this shit, bro. Look at the entry. Come right back in that order block. Come right back in this bearish fair value gap. Stop loss over the top. Safety first. Look at the order flow down. Amazing. Amazing. So that was a good day. And then, how much time? 10 minutes. All right. Daily candle bullish, obviously. And then what we doing? Okay, so we pulled back. I'm seeing the curl. It's a bullish fair value gap there. The bodies hold it. That's how you had confidence. I had to catch that trade. Yeah, it's a system, man, in the work. I ain't gonna lie. So you see the market maker model. Obviously, this 15-minute fair value gap that I sold to the previous day. That's IRL. I'm looking at the ERL there. This was such a good trade. I ain't hold this shit though. But god damn, this is a good ass trade. Price come back. Boom. If this run is truly bearish, these discount arrays don't hold. These premium arrays from low to high, they do hold, right? But you see that did not work out. Boom. So 1 minute chart. This was fucking sloppy too. Tried to buy right there. Got that one candle pullback that clipped my ass. Boom. And then, okay, if price is truly bearish, this bearish PD array, this order block gonna hold. This SMT not gonna hold. But of course, price was just being a BAN on this order block right there. Boom, it ran it out. And then, boom. Once I saw that, okay, this first presented fair value gap, if it's bearish, we gonna hold it. If this is truly inversion gap, we gonna hold it. We did it. We crossed over that halfway point. I'm back in that thing. If we're truly bullish, this fair value gap will hold. It's a breakaway gap. There's a swing high right there. And then, yes, sir. Perfect. Pow. And then we get there. We run out to this buy side. Again, when price is slow, every key level will get a reaction. It gets one. Annoying as shit. This doesn't hold, right? The bullish runs it out. The bullish order block runs it out. And then the first presented fair value gap gets ran out and then holds. It's so irritating. I close the trade, break even, and then I get back in because this is obviously bullshit. It's running out bullish PD arrays and then still holding. Bearish PD arrays not holding. We back in and then held through a little bit of this chop right here. It's a fair value gap. Bodies did work for your boy. And then, yeah, boom. Yeah, I don't blame you if you did. You see how many times I had to cut it. That's what I'm saying. Like, price action like this make you go. It make you sit up in your chair. Like, y'all know that little meme. It make you sit up in your chair because what the fuck going on? But it's not always gonna be like this. And then after it got through this little area right here, price was just so beautiful all the way up there. Like all the way up there. I'm mad I didn't hold it, but it is what it is. Damn, I was smacking shit this week, huh? All right. I ain't mean to spend this much time on my shit, but hey. All right, so obviously y'all see it. I'm just following price. 4-hour gap don't hold. Shit. Ain't got to tell me twice. All right, so price pulled back. There's an order block right there. Bull, we got bullish order flow. Manipulation on them lows right there. We got gaps in here holding the bodies. ERL obviously there. Fib game there. Fib work go crazy too. Stop hunted with the one candle pullback shit. Took a little jab there. That hurt a little bit. And then, again, same thing. The same. If anything, this should be teaching y'all, is a breakaway gap the same as a unicorn breaker? No, but a unicorn breaker usually ends up being, it usually has a breakaway gap. So a unicorn breaker is, it's a breaker with a fair value gap. but that fair value gap is not always a breakaway. I'm gonna say it again. So a unicorn breaker is a breaker that has a fair value gap, but that fair value gap is not always a breakaway gap. Most times it usually is if it's done right. But so yeah, this was yeah. So it ran them lows. Do you do your analysis on TradingView then take the trade on Hanko? No, I trade on well yeah, when I'm trading Hanko, I do that for sure. But I'm trading my primary account first on TradeOvate. And then after I'm done with that, the bills covered, all that shit good, then I'll go play with Hanko and all them other ones. Prop firms, all that shit. But my first trade, the trade I'm calling, got my rent on the line and my life on the line. So when you like for people who take my signals, just know when I'm yeah. Bruh, that's not I know it seemed like a lot of capital, but once you get into the bigger numbers, bro, money goes so fast. Yeah, I don't even understand. But same thing, right? In terms of re-entry, if this is truly bearish, then these gaps gonna hold. The gaps did not hold. The bullish SMT held, not this one, but another one. And then yeah, this didn't hold, so we back in with the same bias because we got PL3 accumulation, manipulation, distribution. This pissed me off though. I should have just took it up there, not being greedy, but I thought it was a chance we would run, and I took my profit as soon as I saw this big ass wick rejection right here. As soon as that next candle opened and I saw it drop down a little bit, I got out. And then I'm happy I did because it dropped down more. And then it dropped down back to break even. Then I think it continued running after that, but that was annoying. What else y'all saying? Nuts. All right, so let's see. And then Friday trade. Daily candle. 4-hour chart. Y'all see it. We're still just climbing higher, bullish order flow. This was so perfect. How I was just sitting in this gap here overnight. And then, yes, sir, that rundown and manipulation. This was just so amazing. I ain't gonna lie. This trade was so good, bro. And then the 15-minute, same thing. 4-hour, we bouncing around in it. And then we get bullish SMT on the lows. Again, if we expecting to go higher because we in a higher time frame key level, I'm expecting manipulation at the lows. So we get it. Boom, boom. And then this 15-minute, if we truly bearish, this why the 2022 model be getting cooked too. And this why my model's superior to all that 2022 model or just trading off of a PD array ICT. This why, because this is a 2022 model perfect right here. Buy side liquidity equal highs. Look how it runs it. And then market structure shift down, right? Multiple lows, market structure shift down. Price come back to it. People are entering now on a 1-minute chart and getting cooked. But no. The champagne model got the higher time frame confluence in it. It got the daily candle in it, the SMT. So I be smacking ICT traders. It go from smacking retail traders in your old self, support, resistance, whatever, supply and demand, and then you get to the level where you start smacking ICT traders. ICT traders taking that short right there off of this displacement. I'm smacking their ass if they're not looking at all the other shit. So boom, that gets inverted, and it's just was nice. No drawdown. This is beautiful. Entry there. And I should have entered right here on the candle next to it, but I was calling the signal in the group. And I was like in the gym. I wasn't on my computer. But this was amazing. I ain't gonna lie. We had SMT in here and we had SMT down here. This gap right here was just so nice. Closing over the CE. Price pull back, enter there. And then from there, we got a breakaway gap. You look left. These swings are in the gap. And also this close above this candle. So breakaway gap comes back, taps it, boom, right to the target. And y'all can see my targets be so on point. Like it ran the target, which was the previous day's London session high. And then it started to pull back, accumulated, and then it took off even more. So that was an amazing trade, 1 for 1. Those are the trades I took for the week.